Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. So, I believe yesterday I did an article, or did a video about an article on Semaphore, and I had an interview with Chris Cox. And there was a part of the article that really stuck out to me. And let's go back and read that paragraph. AI is a great leveler. Smartphone screens are not the toy industry's only technology challenge. Okay. Um, Cox uses artificial intelligence tools. Well, good to know. He uses artificial intelligence tools as to generate storylines, art, and voices for his D&D characters, and hails AI as a great leveler for user-generated content. And I was like, user-generated content. I know I've seen that before. I didn't know where. And then one of the taverners, one of the regulars, reached out to me last night and showed me where that was. And got me thinking. So it's part of the exclusive agreement that you make if you join the DMs Guild as a creator. And part of this is you give an exclusive license for all user-generated content. That's a specific legal term, by the way, folks. In your work, effective as of the date we first make your work available through the program, you grant us being WotC, Hasbro, how we want to look at it, exclusive, irrevocable license for the full term of copyright protection available, including renewals, to all, here's that term again, user-generated content included in your work. You agree that the user-generated content is available for unrestricted use by us without any additional compensation, notification, or attribution, including that we may allow other program authors, the owner, and other third parties to use the user-generated content. I'm going to go back for a second. Chris Cox refers to user-generated content when referring to AI. It's also what everything the DMs Guild is. By the way, this says that the DMs Guild / WotC has a license to use your work how they see fit without further compensation. So, I bounced this off Rob Conley. And Mr. Bat in the Attic ran this through Grok's deep thinking app. It really dug deep. And he asked about Hasbro's interest in AI for D&D. Hasbro has signaled strong interest in using AI in game development. In a March 2024 interview, Chris Cox specifically noted that D&D has 50 years of content we can mine. Literally thousands of adventures that we've created, probably tens of millions of words we own and can leverage. Now that's their content. That's not content under the DM's Guild. That statement suggests Hasbro is looking to train AI models on the vast library of D&D material it has access to in order to create new content or gameplay tools. I said that at the time. The focus in Cox's quote was on official D&D content, adventures that we've created, implying they plan to use the company's own published works as training data. There's no public confirmation that Hasbro is actively including fan-made or user-generated content, UGC, from the Dungeon Master's Guild in these AI training efforts. However, the sheer volume of D&D-related text on the DM's Guild makes it a tempting resource. Community speculation has been growing that Wizards might leverage this trove of fan-created adventures to develop an AI-driven dungeon master or content generator. I'm thinking the first one comes after the second one. The content generator comes first. So far, though, Hasbro statements have emphasized official content, and they have not explicitly said we are feeding DMs Guild material into our AI, but they haven't said they aren't. Why do we think they are? Well, I think this quote, again, AI as a great lever for user-generated content says a lot. That quote didn't come. That phrase is in Chris Cox's mind to the point that he used that specific phrase in this article. That's not a phrase that you just throw out there. So, and again, I love the fact that we're using AI to figure out if WotC is going to use AI. It's spot on. Does the DM's Guild agreement allow AI training? It does not explicitly mention AI and machine learning, but its broad language likely gives Wizards the latitude to use the content for various purposes connected to the D&D franchise. Importantly, Wizards is granted rights to use and sell your DM's Guild material on the platform, and you've already authorized them and the platform to make and distribute copies of your work. Training an AI model on text involves making copies of and analyzing the text, which is arguably within the scope of what's permitted, or at least for internal use, since the content is hosted and processed by the platform. There is no clause in the DM's Guild terms that forbids Wizards from using the content for internal development or analysis. In fact, the agreement intent is to let Wizards and the company freely reuse and adapt community content as part of the D&D ecosystem, so long as it's within the DM Guild framework. Wow. Makes you think, right? It really, your Wizards has access to it. They can use it, and they can then say, well, we didn't scour the internet. Morally, we're in the right spot on this one. Morally, we had rights. Morally, as if a company like Hasbro and WotC was worried about morals, but morally, we're licensed legally. Wizards does not own your adventure's original characters or story, so they couldn't publish your exact text in an official book without permission. But to train an AI, they don't need to claim ownership. They just need the right to read and process the text. By uploading to DM's Guild, you've given them access to your full content and exclusive rights to distribute it on that platform. So Wizards Hasbro can likely use that data for AI training without additional permission. This is per ChatGPT, Deep Thoughts, Deep Dive, Deep something or other. This is AI delving into it, and AI is going, oh yeah. Notably, using content in this way hasn't been tested in court, specifically for DM's Guild, but absent an explicit prohibition. And by the way, who can afford to fight Hasbro on this? Which content creator on the DM's Guild is going to put down hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight Hasbro if they want to use it? Hasbro could argue the license terms and perhaps fair use cover such AI uses. Volume and variety. The DM's Guild has thousands of fan-created adventures, campaigns, monsters, and supplements. This represents millions of additional words of D&D-focused text. Including these would massively increase the volume of D&D-specific training data available to the AI. It also covers a vast variety of playstyles and creative ideas, from classic high fantasy quests to niche genre mashups, which could help an AI respond to broader arrays of player inputs and come up with more varied names. Interesting, right? These are all the pros for WotC. There's no cons. What are the cons? Community pushback? They're going to get community pushback for using AI in any case. So if you're going to be in for a penny, be in for a pound. Language and tone. Community content often mirrors the informal, table-ready tone that DMs use. Well, that's interesting. Sometimes more so than polished official books. Training on it could teach an AI to produce descriptions and dialogue that feels like a real DM storytelling, not just encyclopedia entries. It might also include more conversational Q&A style text. Some DM Guild products or our guides or facts that could train an AI to answer rule or lore questions the same way a human DM might. Niche rules and homebrew. Many DM Guild works expand on rules or introduce new mechanics. Homebrew. While the AI would still need to obey official rules, seeing how fans tinker with the system could help it better understand rules context or variant rules. If Hasbro were building an AI to help DMs, training it on these homebrew ideas can make it more adaptable and creative. Though it also risks the AI learning content that is not official. Something wizards may or may not want. Folks, the future is now. It's coming. It's going to whack you in the face. It's going to whack you real hard. And 5.5 was designed for this in mind. When they tell you flat out, they're not hiding it, right? They're not hiding the ball. They're just not telling you what the ball is, but they got the ball right in front of you. And what ball? This ball? Yeah, yeah, I got a ball in my hand. Yeah, it's an AI ball, but I don't know what we're going to do with it just yet. They know what they're going to do with it. If you're a DM's Guild creator, you should be asking WotC, are you going to be using my work to train your AI? Did you give, apparently you gave permission. You probably don't even have moral rights. I mean, you can't argue that because that's part of the agreement too, that you pretty much waive all your moral rights. I don't know. But Chris Cox isn't hiding the ball. He's putting it out there. He's giving you it. What do you do with it now? You tell me. All right, folks. On that note, next live stream I believe is Wednesday, unless something spectacular happens between now and then. Hopefully nothing does. Folks, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I'll catch you all on the flip side.